Good morning. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Morning, Chef. Jacob, bro. Can't say that name. Way deep inside. John, Richard, great. Sayaman? I don't know how to pronounce that. Brian English. It sounds like a famous person's name. Brian English. Christine, Will, Robert, Killer Cravings. EHSU. The BK Dot. Harlot. Joint. Kieran White. Dino's Den. I don't know how to call it. And always margin call. The first one. Hopefully we don't get any margin calls today. Brian English. What's going on? Julio. Brian English, definitely famous. Yeah, I agree. Who's famous? He's famous. Bonjour. The Rangers, baby. Yeah, I watched the game last night. Rangers killed them. Rangers are hot. They're hot. They're hot at the right time, the Rangers. And on paper, I think the Rangers have the best team. On paper. The Rangers have a insane, like, all three lines are crazy good. I mean, even all four, but the first two are just crazy. The Masters starting today? Yeah, right? That's going to be fun. Starting today, right? Alrighty. All right, let's get started. So yesterday, some nice downside. Yeah, they still have the kid line, the Rangers. It's a little bit mixed up still, but they still got Kako, Lafreniere. Panarin moved to the first line with Mika, Kreider, Kane. I don't know if they have Trocheck on the first line or if they have Tarasenko. I'm not sure who that... No, I think it's just Kreider, Mika. Kreider, they mix it up, and then you got Fox. So they're crazy. Very excited to see what they do in the playoffs. Nvidia short yesterday was insane. Got the idea from your stream. Nice job, man. Yeah, I mean if you if you watched the stream yesterday, right, those levels on Nvidia were pretty much perfect. It was pretty much exactly what we talked about, the Nvidia downside. So really nice. All right, welcome back, everyone. Hope everyone had a good day yesterday. Some nice downside on the market yesterday. Some nice continuation. And there was a key rejection point yesterday on the NASDAQ. It was a level we were watching, 13,160. That was a key intraday break and retest that caused the downside. That confirmed the downside. It was a really nice break below a previous day low, a rejection of previous day low, and a very nice break and retest to the downside. That was the confirmation. After seeing that, for me, I was pretty convicted. Actually, I'm sorry, it wasn't previous day low. It was the Monday's low. After seeing that, I was pretty convicted to the downside, and that's why I was really confident on my Nvidia downside trade off that 270 supply. So some really nice levels stepped up yesterday. And today we have some very important levels to watch today, right? There is a little bit of a change this morning that you have to be paying attention to. You cannot get that bearish this morning. There is a very key level that is holding on the NASDAQ, that is holding on the S&P. And I'm not that fond of shorting into these levels today. So I want to point out what I'm watching, why I think you need to be careful on the downside today after that drop yesterday. There is a very key level that if it breaks, we could look for more downside. But until that happens, we have to believe, or we have to respect supply and demand, right? We have to respect supply and demand in our trading. And as of right now, the demand is holding on the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. And these are major levels to be watching today. So big watches today. Make sure you're paying attention to the levels that we talk about in the stream today. Make sure you have them on your charts. I highly recommend you have a chart open alongside when you listen to these live streams so you can do it all while I'm doing it. It's probably the best way to learn, the best way to do it live with me. Today is the last trading day of the week. Remember that. Market is closed tomorrow, and I will be enjoying the day off. So no live stream tomorrow, right? We obviously have a vacation. We have a day off tomorrow, and the market will be closed. So make sure you remember that. No live stream tomorrow. All right. So with that said, let's get started. April 6th, happy Friday. Yeah, happy Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. Economic earnings calendar. I think we just have our normal jobless claims today, guys. I don't think anything out of the ordinary. So we'll pull that up real quick, but I don't think much to see here. Let me go to this. You guys can see right here, Thursday, April 6th. Jobless claims at 8:30 here in the morning, so we will see if there's any reaction off that today in the pre-market live as we are speaking. 10 a.m. today, James Bullard, or I think his name is James, right? James Bullard? Yeah, I think it. Well, anyways, Fed President Bullard speaking at 10 a.m. So maybe a little bit of action there, maybe. So just watch out for that 10 a.m. As well, all right? Support, resistance, supply and demand. I don't try to think into it that much. I know there's gonna be people out there that will will slap you on the wrist because they're not technically the same things. It's more it goes pretty deep into the background of the market structure. I just simply think of it as if I find a supply level, it's where we could reject. If I find a demand level, it's where we could hold up. That's really all I think about. I don't try to make it more difficult than it has to be. So the question of supply and demand, support, resistance, pretty much the same thing. Supply is resistance, demand is support in my eyes. But of course, there's going to be someone out there that says, oh, it's not the same. But you know what? I don't give a shit, honestly, because I just trade off of them. So, yeah, with that said, yeah. So Tesla 185 level, big level to watch today. Nvidia 264, big level to watch today as well. Meta under 212, this is a big watch for me. Microsoft 281 demand. AMD breaking down into that low volume area we talked about yesterday. This was beautiful. Google 104 retest, and Amazon 101. These are some big levels that I am watching today. Some really nice setups. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. Yeah, I guess you could say it's a zone versus an exact level. You know, a supply zone, a demand zone. It's not an exact line. It's more of like a group of areas, an area that you have to watch. I guess that's the best way you could possibly put it. But either way, I trade downside off supply. I take upside off demand. Yeah. So let's get started. All right. NASDAQ. So what did the NASDAQ do yesterday? The NASDAQ retested 13,000. And this was the retest that I've been waiting for. Espresso on me. Thank you, Tom. Thank you for my espresso today, my friend. Hopefully you get yourself some as well. So the NASDAQ over the last 2 days has traded to the downside, right? Tuesday and Wednesday, we got some really nice downside in the market, right? Downside here. And then yesterday, really clean slip to the downside as well. Now, where did the NASDAQ come back down into? The NASDAQ has traded back to this triple top. This top here. And you can see, look at the demand that has stepped up in this 13,000 area. So this is very telling. This is something you have to pay attention to today. There is no sense in playing puts into 13,000 today. If you do not respect this previous rejection point that has shown itself as a potential demand, you're not paying attention to supply and demand, and you're just trading off hopes and prayers. So we cannot trade downside into 13,000 on the NASDAQ. You could try to scalp off this 13.1. You could try to scalp off this 13.150, right? If you want to look for some retest rejections, you could obviously do that for some points, right? If you're looking for a little scalper. But the overarching theme today, the biggest thing you need to pay attention to is you cannot play puts into 13,000. It's just going to be a sweaty-ass trade, and that's a trade you do not want to be involved in. So yesterday, right? This was in the Discord. This is the intraday commentary. This is where we talk about, what's going on intraday. Around 11 o'clock yesterday, we were getting close to that 13,000, right? Be cautious entering new shorts at 13,000 on NQ. This is a potential demand zone. Anyone that entered puts yesterday as we approached 13,000 lost money, right? There's no sense in trading downside, continuing to look for downside into demand. And then you can see at 2 o'clock yesterday, we held that 13,000 demand. We pushed off of it. That is the demand level that you have to be watching today on the market. You do not need to trade puts into 13,000 today. You are pretty much just asking for the worst possible risk reward you could set up on a daily basis, right? That just doesn't make sense. So that is the thing that I would be paying attention to. If you get a break under 13K today, if you start to see 13K turn into rejection points, then you have your risk reward to the downside, right? Then you have your risk reward that flips back to the downside. So if you can get a really clean 13K break, if you can see 13K start to reject, right? If you start to see something like this, see these rejections right here? If you start to get these rejections looking like this under 13,000, then I could say, hey, all right, now we have that downside opportunity. Now we can look for 13,000 supply rejections, and we can have our stop over 13,000, setting up a good risk to reward. But as of right now, I would not come into today looking for downside at the moment. You probably do not want to trade into this previous high and this 13,000 psych level. So that is how I am approaching today. I will not be taking put options today if we are trading above 13,000. It's a Friday. It's the last trading day of the week. If we stay above 13,000 all day, and we just sort of chill in this channel, I am not going to chase anything stupid today. So if we get under 13K, right, if we have a nice slip and slide under 13K and we start to see something like this, then yeah, maybe I'll look for that shot. Maybe if we get another big red day, we can look for that shot back down to these lows around 12.7. But that is going to require a very legitimate break and hold below 13,000. Before that happens, I would not touch the put side. Now, on the shorter term, right? This is what I'm watching shorter term here on the NQ. So you can see demand at 13, right? It looked like it was going to break down this morning, and look at that wick bounce off 13K. This is proving to us that this is not the zone to be entering puts, right? This is very, very clear. Now, to the upside, right? You also don't need to be entering calls, right, into this supply up here, 13.1, 13,090. You guys can clearly see rejections yesterday. You can see rejections here this pre-market. So as of right now, right? As of right now, you are trading in this channel between 13,000 and 13,100. This is very similar to the channel that we were trading in yesterday before market open, right? Look, this was yesterday pre-market. And look at the move you could have caught if you just waited for the break and retest of the channel low. If you just waited for the break and retest of the channel low, you set yourself up with a really nice confirmation and a really nice trade. So today, what are you going to look for? You're going to look for a break and retest of the channel high or a break and retest of the channel low. You're not going to go and start messing around, scalping SPY, 0 DTE for a one point move because I think we're going to bounce here in the middle of this channel. I need to continue to trade all day. I'm going to take 0 DTE here, 0 DTE here. I'm back in 0 DTE calls here. Now I'm in puts. Now I'm in puts again, and I lose off demand, right? Don't do that. Don't get into that game, please, right? Wait for the real move. And yesterday, if you simply just waited for the break and retest of the previous channel low, right, you got a really nice trade. All it takes, right? Think about this. Think about this for a second. If you just traded yesterday out of this entire week, which was probably the cleanest move of the week, you probably made more money than most people did trading every day of this week, right? If you just traded this breakdown yesterday, you probably made more money than some people that are in and out of positions all week in sideways action. So, right, you do not need to trade every single day. You do not need to trade chop, right? And this move yesterday was awesome. So if we go to the 5-minute chart, right, look at what's set up yesterday. Look at what's set up on the 2-minute chart that confirmed the downside yesterday, right? Look at this this is Monday's lows right here. So you have Monday's lows. This is around 13,160, 13,155. This right here is Monday's lows, right? And if we go to yesterday's price action, look at this morning retest rejection on the NASDAQ. We had a downside move through that level, retested it, rejected. We even came back up into it and rejected it again, right? And after seeing Monday's lows, that's the channel low, turn into a rejection point. Look at the downside continuation and look at this move you could have caught, right? Right off that retest of the channel low. So this is why I'm so strong-willed about the break and retest, because you do not need to trade in the chop, and you can just wait for that same exact thing today, right? If you look for a break of 13,000, if you get that push back into it, sort of see this rejection step in, right? Then you can look for that move, right? Break of the channel low and break of a very key 13,000 demand. Same thing on the upside today, right? If you see the market start to push above 13,090, this previous rejection here, you can look for that retest level, see if this starts to hold up, and then maybe you can set up some longs back into that 150 area, right? Set up your longs here off the retest of yesterday's little intraday rejection point, and then maybe you can get that move. So for me today, I really want to only trade here or here, right? This is the only areas that I'm interested in trading. And this goes back to what we talked about yesterday in the live stream, right? Here or here, right? That's where I'm interested in trading. I'm interested in, either direction in these yellow zones. I'm either looking for a demand bounce here, a supply rejection here, or maybe a break and retest of this zone or a break and retest of that zone. I am not interested in trading in here, right? I'm not interested in trading in here. I'm interested here, and I'm interested here. I'm interested at supply, and I'm interested at demand. I am not going to set up trades in the middle of a channel. So that is what I would come into today looking for. I would look to see how 13,000 reacts on the demand side. I would watch to see how this 13,090, 13,100 area acts as supply. And then I'd look for the break and retest of either side. All right? That's how I would come into today. ES, very similar, right? 4,100 on the ES. If we go to the 4-hour chart, right, we can see this 4,100 level on the 4-hour, right? This is a big level on the 4-hour. So you can see this is a previous rejection here, previous rejection here, previous rejection here, previous demand around 4,100 here. And yesterday, right, if we go to the 5-minute chart and we look at yesterday's price action, if TOS would let me zoom in, I hate when it does this. If we zoom into yesterday's price action on the 5-minute chart, we can see we moved right into 4,100 yesterday. We held that demand, and we bounced off of it to close the day. This morning, you can see we're still maintaining above 4,100. Little bit of volatility, right? Little up, little down. But the over, right? The most important thing to pay attention to here is we are still above that 4,100 retest, and you need to be cautious shorting into that 4,100. The previous lows from Tuesday, right here, this 41.18, 41.15, this is like that supply zone, right? This is more of a zone. This previous low from Tuesday turned into a rejection yesterday. So if I go to the 2-minute chart, you are going to see this. You can see how the previous day low yesterday turned into a rejection, and that was your confirmation. So previous day low, pre-market low, right? We open the market. If I zoom in, we open the market. We push to the upside. We came back under the previous day low, the pre-market low. We tried to push back up. We rejected it, right? Rejected it here. And right since that point, right, that was where the downside came in. So today, you can see we rejected that level again. And as we approach into today's trading, you can see we're below that level again. So this level is going to be important, right? This level is going to be important. This little 14,018, 14,015, this is Tuesday's lows. You can see we're having a lot of trouble maintaining above that level here so far this morning. So watch out for that. I really don't like anything in this area, right? If you look at this area, right, you see this little zone between this 41.18 and this 41.35. Look at all this chop here, right? Look at all this chop between 41.18 and 41.35. All you have is just a bunch of up and down, right? Look at all this. So this is a little bit concerning in here. How does the market react as it trades within this zone? A little tough, right? That's a little tough for me. I'm not quite sure yet, right? That's going to be sort of a wait and watch sort of trade to see if we can find some kind of demand above Tuesday's lows. All right, if I can see some demand start to hold above Tuesday's lows, then maybe I'll try that push into 41.35, which is right here, right? So I would maybe look to see if the ES can maintain this Tuesday low, and then maybe I'll look to trade it towards that 41.35. But as of right now, we're sort of just up and down through this level, and I'm not really seeing much. Consistency on these levels, on this 41.15, 41.18. You can see we rejected here, we got through it, now we're right back below it. So I would almost, if you want to play it safe today, if you want to be really safe today, I would look at the market like this. If you want to be really, really safe on the ES, and you just I do not want to do something dumb today. It's the last trading day of the week. I want to play it really safe. I would almost just look at the levels like this on the ES. I would look at the supply at 41.35, and I'd look at the demand at 4,100. And I would just ignore everything that's in between that, right? I would look for supply rejections here, and I would look for demand holds here. And I would just basically ignore any price action between this level. So pretty much the same setup that I was saying before, right? Look for trades up towards this supply. Look for trades down towards this demand. I'll turn this yellow so it's bright right in your face, right? Look for trades up at that supply. Look for trades down at this demand, and just ignore anything within here, right? Because this is pretty much just a major chop zone, as you guys can see over the last few days. So if you want to play it safe, that's how I would approach today, right? Look for the supply rejections of Tuesday's little rejection point here, and then look for demand off 4,100. That's how I would look at this, okay? I think that's your safest bet. But of course, you can, if you really want to get detailed with it, you can watch this little 41.18, right? There is definitely an importance to that level. You can see it, sort of this previous low on Tuesday, little low in the pre-market yesterday, and you can see a little bit of reaction there again yesterday right here. One second, guys. So, yeah, that's how I'd watch it. All right. Let's go to the SPY. So the SPY, pretty much the same levels, right? It looks like if I zoom out, we go out to the 4 hour. The SPY held at like this little retest here, right? You can see it. It's sort of on the 1 hour, but I'll do it on the 4 hour. This little retest zone, this 406, right? You can see if I put a little green box there. Look at that 406. I'm gonna delete all this and just redo it for you guys. So you can see right here, this is the SPY ETF on the 4 hour chart, and you can see previous lows, previous highs, previous consolidation, previous highs right here, right? Nice little rejection right there. And then look at where the SPY came back into. Break and retest that 406 level. So 406, if we go to the 5-minute chart, look at the 406 demand that stepped up yesterday. Right? Very clear demand that stepped up yesterday on the SPY at 406. Rejections look to be up here around this 409.30. So in my eyes, right, if you want to play it safe today on the SPY, if you don't feel like getting chopped up on 0 DTE like everyone else, doing, gambling their money away on some 0 DTE SPX, I would watch 409 here, right? And I would watch 406 here. And the cleanest trades would be either a break and hold above that rejection point, or a break and hold below 406, right? Those are your cleanest trades. That, or you look for the supply rejection here, right, for maybe a nice downside move, or you look for the demand at 406, and maybe you look for some upside, right? But that's the levels that I would watch on SPY today. Those are the main levels. In between this, it's looking really messy. So I'd watch 409.30, 409 area up here. This is this rejection point from yesterday, or from Tuesday, and I would watch the demand at 406, which is a major 4 hour retest level, 406. All right. So 406, 409, those are the levels I'll give you on the SPY today. Those are the main levels to be watching. You guys can see it very clearly right here. Rejections here, demand here. Be careful in this zone. All right. Dow Jones, pretty strong this morning, actually. And the Dow, actually, yeah, look at how clean that was on the Dow. Damn. Look at this little Dow retest. That's pretty nice. 33.5. We talked about this one yesterday. That's a pretty clean Dow retest right there. So previous lows right here, previous little rejection right there. And look at this. All right. Look at that little retest. Pretty nice. So, yeah, the Dow holding above 33.5 is definitely a bullish hold. So I would not look to short until the Dow loses that 33.5. That's a really nice looking retest right there. Previous highs, break, retest. Really nice demand stepped up at that previous rejection point. So to set up a short on the Dow, or to even look to the downside here, you're going to need a pretty clean break under 33.5, a retest of 33.5, and then, right, you can look for that downside, right? But until then, be careful shorting into this 33.5. That is a pretty major 4 hour retest and a pretty major 4 hour hold at this previous rejection point. It's pretty nice. So watch that 33.5 on the YM. Russell, just a total chop fest. Stay away from it is what I would say. It's just right in the middle of a channel. 1800, 1708, right in the middle of the channel. Stay away from it. All right. Let's wait for the data to come out here. We'll put up the NQ here. We'll look at this level. We'll look at between 13K and 13,090. Data's gonna jobless claims is gonna come out here in about 1 minute. So I guess we can. We want to wait. I don't know. What can we go over in a minute? Tesla? We'll just start Tesla, and I'll go back to it in a second. Oh, shit. Tesla's breaking down. Damn. I didn't know this. All right. This is big. Let's go over Tesla real quick. So, let's go hourly chart on Tesla. This is a big breakdown, actually. So Tesla had some previous demand here around this, right around this 185, 185.50 area. It's sort of rejecting this. Yeah. It's sort of like rejecting this 186 area. Yeah, that's actually pretty nice. So look at this. So you have a previous low here on Tesla, right? You have a rejection here, a rejection here, and a rejection here, right around this 186 level on Tesla. And look at what Tesla's doing this morning. Look at this rejection of 186. This is interesting, right? And then look at the next demand on Tesla. It's not down until this 176 level. So I would be interested, right? If that ES and NASDAQ do, start to break that 13,000 today, this could be really nice. But let's go into the ES real quick. Let's look at the market reaction to jobless claims here. And then we'll look at Tesla again. So a little bit of upside to start. Let's see if there's any follow through though. I mean, it's just one candle. Jobless claims. So a little bit of upside, a little bit of downside, really nothing there. What are the numbers? Jobless claims, 228 versus 200. So more jobless claims. That's, I don't know. It's technically bullish. But market's moving lower on it, so we're not going to think that, obviously. More jobless claims, more people not working is bullish. Maybe 2 months ago it was, but right now it doesn't look that way. So either way, right, all we need to do is look at what the market's doing. Right now, a little bit of downside coming in, right? So some downside coming in. Look at that rejection of 41.18 on the ES there. That's actually very nice. Here's the NASDAQ. So NASDAQ coming towards that 13,000, right? If we start to lose that 13,000, yeah, Tesla's in free fall a little bit here. So what's yesterday's lows? Yesterday's lows is 184, right? Now this is a level we have to watch. All right, so we're going to put our zone at 184 now. We're going to make this red. And now we are going to look to see if Tesla stays below yesterday's lows. All right? Look at what happened yesterday under yesterday's lows. Look at this, right? Under yesterday's lows, bam, dead. Rip. Tesla, yesterday's lows. Interesting. So, yeah, 184. Watch that today. If you can get a nice supply rejection of 184 on Tesla today, that could be pretty clean. That could be pretty clean. If I get more time here, go to the 90-day. All right, there's not much down here, folks. I mean, really the next level on Tesla, the next true demand level on Tesla is right here. This is the next true demand on Tesla, down at 176. So, yeah, there's some space here. There's definitely some space here if we really do start to slip again. So I would watch yesterday's lows. I would look to see if we maybe retest 13 or this 184. If we do, I would definitely look for it. Yeah, Tesla might be a runaway train here, folks. We'll see. Look for that retest. But yeah, NASDAQ, right? This is where it's going to get a little tricky, right? This is where it's going to get a little tricky. If you go short Tesla and the NASDAQ does a little 13K demand bounce, you might get into a little bit of a battle on Tesla, right? If you're in short on Tesla, let's say you're short Tesla here, and the NASDAQ does a little 13K demand bounce, you might get a little it might get a little messy. So just be careful of that. You would really want to see, to be really confident in Tesla, you would want to see the NQ break 13,000. That would be like the final check to the, that would be like checkmate to the downside. But right now, right, if we stay under yesterday's lows, guys, just think about it logically. Sometimes you just need to take a step back and think about it logically, especially when you're in a trade. If you can think clearly when you're in a trade, it's the best. And sometimes it's difficult to think clearly because you're nervous, you're scared, you're trading with too much money, you're freaking out. Where do I get out? Where do I take profits? Should I get out? Should I stay in? Blah, blah, blah. Think about it logically. If Tesla is trading below the previous day low, there is no reason to be bullish, right? Just take a second. Sometimes all it takes is a second to think about it. If you're in a put position on Tesla and it's below the previous day low, there is no reason to get out of the position, right? So that is sort of where you want to try to put your stop loss at, the previous day low, to set up a good risk to reward. You can say, okay, I'm in Tesla puts. If it's below yesterday's lows, I'm staying in this position. I'm comfortable in my trade. I'm confident in the levels, and I'm gonna wait to see this out. If I see it bounce over yesterday's lows, I'll take my loss. I'll move on. I'll go party this weekend. I don't give a shit. I took a small loss. Next week's a new week, right? So that's how I would think of this, right? Watch that previous day low. See if it rejects there. If it does, maybe you can set up a trade off of it. If it gets back above, then you probably want to be out of the short side. And, of course, the NASDAQ 13,000 is going to be major. All right? Nvidia. So, Nvidia, she paid yesterday, that's for sure. But on the hourly chart, right, we got to pay attention to this demand level here, right? You have this previous high right here. You have this previous high right here. You have this previous low right here, previous low right here, another low right here, and look at the low that came in yesterday. So, rejections, demand, right? You're holding that demand once again at 264. So, we cannot short into 264 on Nvidia. It doesn't make sense, all right? If you are short into 264, you are shorting into demand. We do not want to short into 264. Now, if we can lose 264, if we can turn 264 into a rejection, then I like it. So we need to watch 264 today. That's going to be your main watch. On the flip side, right, 270, right? 270 on the upside. That looks like a heavy supply, and that is the exact level I played downside off of yesterday. So you can see we had 270 rejections here, 270 rejections here. Now, yesterday, we came into the market, and we rejected the 270 level, and this was the key, right? You guys saw in the live trade that I posted, which I'll make a video on tonight, but I also posted a short and on my Instagram if you want to watch it. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter down on the bottom left of your screen. Yesterday, right, we came into the market. I was watching the 270 supply, which we talked about in the live stream. We pushed right into it. We started to put some really nice wick rejections. I mean, look at these wick rejections. This is how I judge entry points. You do not need to, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, you do not need to read the time in sales. You do not need to look at the level 2. In my opinion, for me personally, it is just more of a distraction. It is a distraction for me to look here, look there, look everywhere on my screen. I'm just looking at the candles. I'm staring at these candles. And these candles, right, I can tell you without even looking at the level 2 or the time in sales that there were sellers stacked up at 270. Right? Just reading the candles as they formed yesterday, I could tell that there were sellers stacking up at that 270 level. So if someone's watching the level 2, they're probably seeing a lot of size on the on the bid, right? Trying to get out of the position, right? So it's not like you, in my opinion, you just need to read price action. And so these candles here on the 2-minute chart yesterday just gave me a lot of confidence. I said, I'm in this play. I'm loving these wick rejections. This is a previous retest level. And then you can see the rest is history. Straight to the downside after rejecting that 270. So today, right, Nvidia is in a channel. So demand off 264, right? Supply off 270. Break and retest of 270, break and retest of 264. Those are the only places you're allowed to trade Nvidia. You are not allowed to trade Nvidia in the middle of a channel, and you have no edge. There is no edge in trading Nvidia in the middle of a channel. You play it here, you play it here, and you look for the reactions at the supply, and you look for the reactions at the demand, all right? You do not play Nvidia in the middle of the channel where you have no edge, where you're just guessing. All right, so 270, 264, that's what I'd watch on Nvidia. Very nice trade. Meta, 212. This is very interesting on Meta today. If we can get some underperformance on Meta today, I like this in the 208. So we'll see if the market's weak, right? We'll see if the market's weak. But if the market is weak, right, this is very, very key right here. Look at this little 212 rejection that came in. Right, 212 is a previous support level. So we have 212, right? It's not perfect. It's like 212.50, right? This is why it's called a supply zone, but it's around this 212.50. And look at what previously happened at this level, right? Just sort of think through this chart logically. You have a previous level of support right here. This was support, right? We pushed up, we came back, we held it. Yesterday, we turned that previous level of support into a rejection point. So now we are stair-stepping to the downside, right? We have turned that uptrend, and we are potentially now stair-stepping to the downside. And the next demand that steps up is down at this 208, right here, right? So if Meta is below 212 and you start to break down on the market, maybe you break yesterday's lows, I would look for that move into 208, right? If the market has some weakness, if you start to break this 210 area, I would look for that move right here into 208. So that's something I'm definitely watching today. If I see some Meta weakness today off this 212, I will be looking for that downside. Microsoft, les résistance. Microsoft. So Microsoft 284 level was very key yesterday. We had a previous rejections here, previous support here. We broke below it, and you can see the downside in the pre-market. Now you have to be a little bit careful here on the. You have to be a little bit careful here on the 281, right? Look at this 281. Previous highs, previous highs, previous highs, right? That is very key. And look at where we found demand this morning. So, are you going to be the person that loses their money today on their beautiful Thursday afternoon going short on Microsoft into demand, right? Who's doing it? Not me, right? I am not going to go short Microsoft into this previous quadruple top, right? There is no sense in that. So what I would look for today, if you want to short Microsoft, it's the same story over and over again. We look at the same exact thing over and over again. We look for the break and retest of 281. We turn that previous quadruple top into a new resistance, or, right, we look for the demand hold once again, right? Or we look for this yesterday 284 supply to be a supply again. Or, right, fourth option, you see if we can break back above 284, turn it into a new demand once again, and see if it can push to the upside. All right, those are your four options today. 284 to 281, all right? You watch between that zone, and you look to see if there's supply rejections at 284 or the demand hold at 281. And if you break either side, right, then you can look for that break and retest and continuation. I will say, right, I am definitely interested in Microsoft breaking under 281. Definitely interested. If Microsoft can break under that 281, you're probably going to free fall here in this channel, right? There's nothing in this channel that's going to hold up Microsoft, in my opinion, on a weak market, right? So if we can break under 281, if we can start to do this, right? If we start to see these rejections become rejections again, right? Then I'm going to look for that downside play. I'm definitely going to look for that downside play. If we can turn that 281 into a new rejection, all right? Best option for Microsoft not to play yet? Yeah, I'd say yeah. I would agree, right? I think the best place to play Microsoft is a 281 break and retest. That's the juice. That would be the juice, all right? You want the juice, then you wait for the break and retest at 281, and then you can look for that channel low test, right? That's what I would be looking for personally. That's the juicy play. AMD, awesome trade yesterday, guys. I know some of you guys were in the chat with me when I took this on top of Nvidia as well. This was pretty sweet. So, I mean, this is just easy. It really is. It really is easy. We knew, right? We knew 93, right? We knew 93 was there. We knew 93 was here. If you came to the live streams, you know that we were staring at 93, right? Yesterday, you break under it, right? You break under 93. Actually, on the 1 minute chart, there was a little retest. It wasn't great. Actually, you know what? I'll take it back. It wasn't the cleanest retest. It wasn't the cleanest retest. It was like this 93, 92. It was like right here. So yesterday, right, you sort of hold up 93. You finally break it right here, right? You break it right here. You flush through 93. You get this little pop back up into this previous low, and we took some shorts right here, right? And basically all you do here, all you do in this scenario is you say, all right, I am short AMD on this little pushback to the upside into the supply, right? This is my risk. This is my risk, right? Back above 93. And my reward is, back down to this 90 level. So if you took a swing trade on AMD, right? That's your risk reward. Why not? Right? Why not? So you had the key 93 level. You broke it yesterday. You turned it into a rejection intraday. You have a little break and retest on the short-term time frames. You go short there, stop over 93, targeting that 90 channel low. I mean, that's like a 20 to 1. Why not? So really nice there, right? And it still looks pretty weak to me. If I extend that back to the left, right? Very key 93 level there. I'm actually going to do this. So I would say if AMD, right, stays under 93, you're definitely going to be looking at this 90 level, this 90.3, right? Right in here, I would say like 90.3 is definitely the target, right at this previous little consolidation right here. So I would say if AMD's under 93, you're sitting pretty damn good, right? If AMD gets back above 93, then you want to be out of the short side. So 93, previous double bottom. If you're under that, it's very clear that you need to be looking for the downside continuation. The Google semiconductor article. Yeah, I definitely was happy that you had the semiconductor weakness on AMD Nvidia. Yep. If I'm looking at Tesla puts, don't need to wait for NQ. It's never a perfect science, Chandler. It's never a perfect science, my friend. You would want 13,000 to break to be confident, right? That would give you that ultimate confidence. But Tesla might just do its own thing, right? Tesla sometimes does its own thing. So I would really want to see, right? You could probably wait for this retest on Tesla. If you really want to be patient and take a really good trade today instead of chasing, right? You just have to make that conscious effort, right? You just got to take the one step out of your day and say, all right, today I'm not going to chase, right? Today is just not going to be the day that I lose again on a chase. It's right. That's just something that we have to do as a human being, and it's very difficult at times when we're in the heat of the moment. Market ding, 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 ding. Market opens and you're like, oh, fuck, come on, we got to trade. You just got to take the 1 second and say, today, it's not going to be a chase day. If I miss the trade, so be it, right? I'm not going to chase today. I'm not going to lose money today. I'm not going to do something stupid. I'm not going to be insane doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. If you want to change your trading, if you want to be more consistent, and you want to not chase stocks anymore, you just have to tell yourself, I'm not going to chase stocks, and I'm going to wait for the retest. All right, I'm going to wait for the retest of 184. If it never happens, then I don't take the trade, right? As simple as that. Monday's a new day, new opportunity. I love LAMP. Absolutely. All right. It's all in our head, guys, right? I talked to one of the Discord members yesterday. I had a little talk with him. I had a private call with him. And, right. And it's all just about, patience, about, believing in your setups, believing in, the strategy, and really, really taking that conscious effort to change the way you trade. And it's all in our head, right? It's all in our head. It's us against us. That is trading. It is you against you. There's nothing else, right? The levels that we talk about here in the live streams, the technical levels that we trade off of, it's not hard, right? You guys can, all I'm doing is drawing green and red boxes at previous levels that have bounced or rejected in the past. You guys can do this, right? You can do this, right? It's not difficult. The difficult part is the waiting for the strategy to align, waiting for everything to align, not chasing stocks, not chasing because you're bored, not trading because you're bored or this or that, and just really, really tightening up your trading. And it's going to be you versus you, right? That's really what it's going to come down to. Can you control your own brain? Can you control los manos, right? That's going to be the difference a lot of the time. All right. Google, 104 retest. You guys can see right here. So we talked, great call out, by the way, guys. Yesterday in the live stream, someone said, watch out for the 108 supply. I was watching 107, but 108 was also. You guys can see right here. Look at this supply. Look at this fade that we this was sick. We talked about this one in the live stream yesterday. We said, watch out for the 107 fade, and God, was that nice, right? God, was that nice. So really nice 107 fade, right off that level. Really easy supply rejection, sexy stuff. Right to the downside, and where did we hold? Right at the 104 demand, right? Previous lows here, previous highs here, 104 demand, right? Supply to demand, right? It's very, very, it's really not a difficult concept, right? But what it takes is to understand that at supply, I should be looking for downside, and I have to set up a structured trade idea, right? I'm in Google puts. I like 107 supply. I'm patient on it. I understand it. I'm confident. I have my stop over 107, and I'm looking for the downside play. If it doesn't work out, I'm comfortable with my loss. I know where I'm stopping out. It's a good risk to reward trade, and that's all you can do. All right, so downside, off the supply, right into demand, right? Hold of demand, and you bounce off of it again. So again, today, what are you looking for? Supply, demand, 107, 104. Very easy. It's all about the confidence. And when I say, I say this in the chat a lot, confidence is a byproduct of being comfortable in your trades, right? Being confident in your trades is really just comes from being, or having, let me say that again. Having patience in your trade is just a byproduct of being comfortable in the position that you take, right? You're not going to be able to be patient as a trader if you are not comfortable. There's just, if you're not comfortable, there's absolutely no way in hell you can be patient. They just don't work together, right? If you're not comfortable in what you're doing, patience does not come, right? So if you're comfortable in the trades you take, if you're understanding of the plan, if you're understanding of the strategy that you're using and the size that you're trading with, you will be patient, right? That's just a byproduct. So last one I got for you guys here is Google 101. Watch out for this 101 area. This is a potential demand zone. You guys can see it right here. I'm going to go back. I got to get a little bit more time here. 101. You guys can see previous highs. You're trading right in that. Be careful of this 101. Honestly, you could even watch it down to like 100. This whole 101 to 100 level could be a little bit of a retest hold on Google. So watch out for that area. 101 to 103.50 on Amazon. Did I say Google? Yeah, Amazon. All right. It's 8:53. I'm not going to be able to get to your tickers today. I went on a little bit of a tangent, but I hope that some of those psychology tips help you out today. I do this for free, guys. If you could just press the like button, that would be pretty cool. If you could just take 1 second out of your day, all you got to do is pick up the mouse, maybe hide the chat on your mobile device, and all you got to do is just move your finger like this, just like that, and you have to just press the like button. I'm here every day, starting at 8 a.m., live on YouTube for free. It costs absolutely $0 to be here. And all I ask in return is maybe a like on the video and for you to subscribe to the channel so we can continue to make the channel larger and we can continue to help more people. So thank you again, guys. If you guys could get me to 1,000 likes today, that would be hot. I would love that. It's a beautiful Thursday afternoon. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. Today's Friday, really. So I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Do not show up tomorrow. There's no live stream tomorrow. The market is closed. Don't do anything stupid this weekend. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Be safe out there, right? Don't get too messed up. And yeah, thank you guys again. Appreciate all the messages in the chat. Thank you guys. Love you too, L. You're the best. Thank you, Nelson. Appreciate you guys. Don't make me cry on this Thursday morning, all right? All right, guys. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you guys Monday. Peace out.